Okay. Welcome to another of my video where I'm talking about clustering using Slurm. Here, I wanted to show how I automate the deployment of my Slurm cluster environment using Vagrant to do so. As you guys saw on my previous video, the installing take too much time and too much energy. So sometimes you just want to jump ahead, start learning a new concept and going over all the installation process and everything. So for that, I decided to go ahead and just automate it to make it easy for my learning journey. So I use Vagrant for that. And I split it up in like 4 projects. The main one is going to be a general here that I use. Since I'm also a little bit of fan of Splunk, here I have another one that I'm deploying, adding Splunk on it for monitorization or either Zabbix. But the main project is here on general. So I will have the main Vagrant file here, which is going to deploy a 3 server for me. As you guys can see, I'm going to have the main server, which is here that I define. And I'm setting up a for loop at this level to deploy an amount of machine that I will need, depending on how many clusters I want. And I can just change that information here. And the Slurm file, this is where all the information for the main Slurm cluster is going to be at. So this is where on the head node, everything is going to be deployed. And if I go on node, this is what I'm going to have everything deployed for the node environment. So at the moment that I'm making this video right now, I'm going to be using Rocky 8 because I preferably use a KVM for my deployment, but you can deploy this on VirtualBox or deploy it on VMware workstation as well. But at the moment I'm making this video, Rocky 9 doesn't, the official Rocky 9 server doesn't work yet on VirtualBox and VMware that is using Vagrant for the deployment. So if you want to do that, make sure that you're going to be on Rocky 8 to do so. And if you want to have access to that code that I've wrote, you can check my Bitbucket repository, which is the Slurm project that I have here. And when you're trying to clone this, make sure that you need to be on Slurm Rocky 8 repository to clone it, because the master one, I'm deploying it with Rocky 9 at the moment. And I will put another video down to show how to set up a Vagrant environment on Windows machine if you don't have Windows yet. This installation takes a very long time, as you guys have seen. So for that, I'm going to short it up. But depending on the resources that you allocate to your machine and everything, it's probably going to take a good 30 minutes for the entire process to go through. So it's just simple as you do a Vagrant up, and it's going to go ahead and speed it up automatically. But since on my environment, I have multiple virtualization, I'm going to specify which provider that I'm trying to use, which for mine is going to be a libvirt, right? But if you only have one provider, Vagrant will know automatically which one to spin up from, or you can always add the name of the provider at the beginning for what you are trying to set. And I will just do a Vagrant up. And just right there, the magic is going to start happening. which is say that it's going to give us one head and a two node machine by the time the installation is over. Or here I'm coming to an issue which sudo if config v so that issue is just because, as I say, I have a multiple provider that I'm using. Sometimes it's going to be confusing on which network is going to try to use and stuff like that. So I just shut it down and it's going to go back automatically. As we can see here, we already starting by having the general node head that is being spin up already. So that you guys gonna get boring with all this step, I'm gonna fast forward this or either cut this installation part, and we're gonna come back when everything is being set. Okay, as you can see here, the installation is over, and we have the three nodes that have been created. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in on the head node. So here, if I do a systemctl start on Slurm ctl, it's up and running, but we see that the two other nodes are not responding yet because the connection have not been established at this moment. So systemctl start on slurmd is running as well on slurm dbd since we have a database. So like I was saying, if I do a SN4, we see that we have the head node that is idle and the two other nodes so right now are not responding. So for that, we need to establish the connection between all of them. So I will do a SSH keygen to generate the key, and I will do SSH copy ID. And do the same on the second one. So to make this process easy as well, I wrote another script which is located inside the client file. So if I cut a client here, I can just copy this small script that I have here. So as we can see, the first thing, we're going to take the merge key from the head node and copy to those two other machines. And we're also going to copy the Slurm configuration file to those machines as well. And we'll start both of them. So I will do a bash on test. Okay, that's pretty much it. So we're going to give it a couple of seconds now, wait for it to come back before we do an SN4 again for verification if everything is back up. So now you can see we have all our three nodes that are in the idle state. And from now, I can just start using it and, move to the next step of whatever what I'm trying to learn particularly. So I can do a S control, and I'll specify that I need maybe 6 CPU, and let's go for host name. So we see that the job is being run on all the different nodes that I have set on my automate deployments. And like I was saying, I'm gonna share the previous video on how I set up my Vagrant environment or my Vagrant setting on VirtualBox. At that video, I was working on a different project, which is where I was setting up my Red Hat exam, but then copying that project, you just need to make sure. So the video is going to be with this particular project that I was doing at the time, but then copying this, just make sure that you get the Slurm one, you clone it, and from there, you can move forward. So that's it. And watch out for the next video that I will drop in, still talking about Slurm and HPC cluster. Thank you for watching, and bye.